Was it worth it? I'm getting this question more lately on emails, and I'm concerned actually why I'm getting this. Mark writes in with a question about his. Actually, I couldn't really follow his question, but it was a question about something to do with healthcare and was it worth it? I couldn't really follow that much. But hold on a second. But I would caution you against asking this question because it doesn't matter. It matters not whether it's worth or not. It's already done. You see what I'm saying? You made a decision. You can't unchange the decision. Why freaking hammer yourself? It doesn't matter. The decision's done. Write it off and say either. I mean, literally, there's nothing you can do at this. Why rehash what you can't fix? If we look at investing, for an instance, the market doesn't know. They don't care what you paid for your stock, or it doesn't matter. It matters not what you paid for it. It matters what it is today. Would you buy said stock today? If the answer is no, why are you holding it? Well, because I bought it 2 years ago at a 50% increase. Okay. I mean, if the answer is you would not buy it today, why are you still holding it? It's the same thing. The market doesn't know, it doesn't care. But the reason people hold to it is because they look in the past and say, I should not have done this, or I should have done that, or what did I do it right? Dudes, it doesn't flipping matter. Focus on the future, what you can control. You can't control the past, so well, you really can't control the future, but you can control what you do today. Spend your time not wallowing in self-doubt or self-pity. Some of these questions are self-pity, frankly. Spend your time building what you can. If you made a mistake, fix it with the future. Just stop this. Is it worth it? Because it's irrelevant if it's worth it or not. I hope that makes sense. It doesn't flippin' matter. I even wrote a book, things I made mistakes on. Was it worth it? And one of my things is it's okay to take a borrow against your 401k. Is it worth it? Did you do it? Doesn't matter. 100% it's okay to borrow against your 401k. Variable rate mortgages are fine. People say, oh my goodness, now I'm getting smoked. Yeah, was it worth it? Sure. If you got a lower rate and you're paying down the principal like I was, I paid a boatload towards my principal. Even when my variable rate mortgage goes up, it's nothing compared to what it was in terms of how much I'm paying on my interest relative to the interest I would have paid. You see, I hope that makes sense because I've been paying this sucker down like a crazy man. So even if my variable rate mortgage goes up, which it will, but there's limits on how much it can go up, which is why a variable rate works a lot of times. Because even if rates go up, you're capped into here. And if you focus like a laser beam on paying that sucker off, you know what I'm saying? You're even when I did this back in 2017. I remember saying the worst case scenario is this. And even if that comes to fruition, I'm still ahead because I planned on paying a heavy amount of my principal down. Now, I've actually paid more than what I planned on, if that makes sense. So I can sit there and wallow if it's worth it or not. It doesn't matter. It is. It is. I did you talked about on leasing versus buying a car outright, on renting versus owning. These are all mistakes I have made in the past that I don't rely on your employers for life insurance, which all these things I've done. You know what I'm saying? I've had fixed rate loans. I've had a million different things I've screwed up on. And you just live to learn. I mean, you live to tell about it and you move on. Nothing you can do about it, man. Nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, like on a refinance, I was like, oh man, I don't want to pay. I think it was like $20,000 a refinance. And I was like, that's the equivalent of a number of payments on my mortgage. I said, for me to refinance back in, when the rates were like 2.99, I said, because I want my mortgage paid off in 5 years. I said, if I refinance, it's going to cost me a boatload of mortgage payments. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet. And we'll see if it's worth it or not, but it doesn't matter. There's a decision I made, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm proud of my decision. And if I look back in hindsight, I say, oh, man, I screwed up. It's okay. Live and learn. But stop wallowing in this stuff. It's just not worth it. You can't look to the past. I still cringe at some of the stuff I did when I used to drink. Oh, it's pain. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I just cringe. I'm like, damn, because 30 years ago, I mean, I remember being an ass clown 30 years ago. Do you think the people as an ass clown too remember that? I'd probably not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they might, I don't know. And I mean, just you got to learn to live, forgive and forget, which means forgive yourself first and foremost. And you forgive yourself by saying, I screwed up. Let me move forward and learn from those mistakes. I hope you do the same. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see you